Welcome, everybody, to the Vinyl Community Guncles, Episode 2. I'm Robert Fithen, along with Richard from Calvin Wazoo, Craig from the Vinyl Plethora, and Mike from Hub Tunes. Mike, who has more than 100 Mobile Fidelity records. MoFis in the news.
Wow, you're jumping right in, aren't you?
Yeah. Somebody want to explain the situation for those that aren't aware?
I can explain it to the best of my knowledge. I'm not an expert on pressing, procedures and everything. Obviously, we don't know for sure. This is all rumor and speculation. If you ask me, it's probably true. And we'll see. Basically, what it's come down to is people believe that there is a digital process in making their records since 2015, I believe. They've never ever come out and said all our records are analog. In fact, they've also said, like, this record, the great debut by the B-52s, the silver label has always been
right,
digitally sourced or not from the original tapes. This is one of the best sounding MoFis ever released. It's absolutely spectacular.
It's their second album.
Second, I'm sorry.
Sorry. It's because I'm always doing that. I didn't want to say it.
It's okay.
That's it. Sorry, Mike.
Oh, that's okay. No worries. And so they have always distinguished themselves, in that way. But I don't believe they've ever come out and said, we are all analog. That being said, this is just my opinion. I am not an audiophile. I am deaf in one ear. Half the sound is lost on me. But I will always buy the best pressing I possibly can. Does that change this digital thing? Would I still have bought all these records? I mean, I got so many of them. I mean, I've been buying these things since high school. I got the Kinks.
Yeah. How do you feel now buying those since high school and
Rush?
But is it really those? What I'm hearing?
No, it's
these are not
2015.
These should be okay.
But it's the UHQIs, I thought, where the real issue was coming in. At least what I had heard from some other channel.
The issue seems to be everything that they've done since 2015.
Oh wow, I didn't know.
Well, the big issue is the expensive one steps that everybody's paying that big money for the one steps.
Yeah,
and that's what kind of busted them, I guess, because with Michael Jackson's Thriller, what is it, 40,000 copies or 20,000? There's no way they're gonna, Sony is gonna allow that master tape to be run through that many times, because you can only make. I don't know what the number is, but you can only make so many.
It's only a couple thousand, I believe.
Yeah. So
that's kind of where. And plus, the UHQIs also could very much. And I've never bought any UHQIs, but it's my understanding they may be very suspect as well because they may not be an analog source.
Yeah, Chad's always been pretty upfront with their sourcing and everything, so I'm not too concerned about those, but definitely with like the Thriller, 40,000 copies.
Yeah, that's
something's fishy there. Now,
it would let you spin the tape that many times.
You can't. It would destroy it. It would absolutely destroy the tape. So, would I have bought all these had I known that it was digital? Yes, absolutely. They're some of the best sounding records.
They are. They sound
Yeah, MoFi does a great job. This one, Jeff Beck's Truth. This is not a good sounding record. When this came out, it was kind of crunchy. It was weird. It didn't sound great. MoFi just did this. Absolutely unbelievable. Unbelievable. I mean, the sound on this, the packaging on this is great. But this is a $70 record.
Right.
I mean, we should know the source. We should definitely know the source.
Right. I think that's what I've been hearing from people. That seems to be the issue. It isn't the sound quality, because the sound quality is great. I mean, they have releases, and I don't want to jump too quickly into like our next topic, but a lot of the Dire Straits, they were digital recordings from the beginning. Absolutely. There was no analog source.
Well, I think the only one that was digital, I believe, was Brothers in Arms.
Oh, Brothers in Arms.
The previous one, Love Over Gold, may have been, but I'm not sure on that. But the other ones,
even
and
then,
again,
they sound great.
they sound incredible, absolutely incredible. And so, do I regret buying all these? No, it doesn't change anything. The music sounds great. The packaging, I love. I'll continue to buy. I have a $680 pre-order with them for of releases for the next 4 years.
Well, you see, that's my issue with MoFi.
I haven't canceled it.
I can't afford it.
Yeah, that's my issue with MoFi right now.
A lot of people can't afford it.
Right.
Is that
my issue is they don't keep up.
I'm gonna look like
I don't like that album anyway.
I'm gonna look like the dumb one here. So you mentioned like one step, and I've heard everybody talk about one step, UGI, Elemental, QHP. What is the difference between these? I mean, they're all through Mobile Fidelity, right?
They're all on the audiophile spectrum.
Yeah.
Okay.
And we don't like labels here, so we just said they're all on the audiophile spectrum. All of the HQMRs and the QH.
How many intermediary sources?
Yeah.
HQ LBGTQ.
Right. So
but the one step is supposedly reducing the number of intervals between the alleged original source and the final pressing of the actual vinyl. So there's all these intermediaries, and one step implies there's only one step, but even that's not quite true. There may be two steps instead of four.
Well, that's what the thing is allegedly revealing, is that there's a digital step that's involved, because otherwise that one step will involve running that master over and over.
Exactly. Exactly.
So I just think my question is, now that we're all admitting finally that digital's fine, why aren't we just buying digital things? Why are we buying digital on vinyl?
I'm not saying digital is fine.
Well, no, I'm saying that the people that some of the channels that I saw that are audiophiles are now saying that the ones that they had bought in the last 7 years, they sound great though. They're digital, but hey, they're great. Well, then all of a sudden digital's fine, because I remember there was a particular audiophile who's pretty popular that told me I should throw away all my CDs because they were junk, and then said that anybody that didn't collect, any record collector that didn't collect audiophile records, was not a record collector. They were a hoarder.
Well, there's a lot of...
Well, I might be a hoarder.
Those are the people I think it's really funny right now. It's really funny It's delicious right now for those people.
Wonderful.
My only issue.
It reminds me of those old coffee. We have secretly replaced Janet's whatever with Maxwell House coffee.
Right, it's
Let's
like
see
new
if she can
Coke.
tell the difference. You know, we've secretly put a digital piece in the chain of audio. Let's see if the audiophile can notice. And for 7 years, no would be the answer. No,
Yeah.
It did not.
And I'm not talking about like Mike. I'm talking about these guys that go around talking about, I can smell digital from a mile away. No, you can't.
Yeah. My only issue with MoFi right now, and Mike was alluding to it, is they can't keep up. They sell out, and then they say they haven't reached their limit by contract as to how many issues they're going to sell. But all of them are, you go to their website, and that's usually where I buy them, is directly from the website. I only have like a little more than a dozen, but you see that sold out, more copies coming. That's mostly the case with almost everything on their website, and it's kind of like, And then the other issue that I am kind of worried with is, because they've become so popular, you've got the flippers, who I think there are people who are buying them, and then they immediately sell them on Discogs or someplace. And they're, like you said, Mike, they're already expensive to begin with, the ones that are supposedly truly sourced.
The Jeff Beck is going for almost $200 now on eBay.
Yeah, I mean, I've got some Bob Dylan 45 RPM MoFis that I'm seriously thinking of selling so that I could buy a couple grails on my list.
Well, that's the great thing about this is now their reputation is ruined, and you can get that Jimi Hendrix one step for like $10 now on Discogs. It's great. I got mine.
Well, and
$10.
And that's the thing. Their reputation is suffering big time.
Yeah.
And they're getting ready to launch this new pressing plant in January, and they're going to start pressing everything. And
right. Well, that's
people are
interesting
angry.
because I still think it's mostly with the UHQIs and the one steps, and I'm wondering if it's really truly an issue with some of the other. I'm going to look at my Bob Dylan and my.
Well, I think it's hurt.
collection.
It's hurt feelings. People feel like they've been deceived. People feel like
Yes.
they've been lied
That's
to.
exactly
Whether
it.
and obviously it doesn't say cut from analog master or whatever, where that's what it is. It's nothing else. But putting their whole brand is original master recording across the top of the thing, and it's kind of wishy-washy. It's kind of like we're not going to tell the secret ingredient or whatever, and I don't know.
Well,
I was never a digital hater in the first place. I just think that there's digital done right and there's digital done wrong.
Yeah.
And a lot of
Exactly.
people who don't like digital
Exactly.
have heard digital done wrong. They've heard those late 90s, early 2000s CDs that are brick wall. That's somebody's that's somebody's way of doing things. It doesn't have anything to do with digital. That's
If these MoFis from the last 7 years are digital, they're doing it right. I mean,
Well, they
absolutely
always
doing
did
it right.
because they had those.
They always have, yeah.
Those
There was a
you had the
period-
digital, the SACD or whatever it's called.
Yeah.
I had
Which these
so
are
many of
apparently
those.
DSD digital files that they're
That's
doing
what
this
they
with.
think. Yeah, that's
Yeah.
what they think.
The room allegedly.
Yeah.
Yeah, allegedly.
Well, I just checked my my Bob Dylan Highway 61, and the lowest selling price is still close to $300. So those haven't, been hit because that was an older.
Those
one.
are out of print. Those are not going to be repressed.
Yeah, those are all out of print.
That's why,
and-
and they'll always stay high, I think.
yeah.
Are you going to put it on eBay tonight?
No, I'll wait until I at least buy a cheap repressing.
Wasn't there something about they also went down in quality with the covers or something, and there was some wrinkled corners?
I never noticed that. I heard one person say that.
Their covers have always been a little.
Oh, okay.
I mean, they're not great covers.
I think there was
but they've
recently
been
an
like
embossed-
that since the 80s.
Right.
It's nothing new.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think they had an embossed album that or an album that came out with recently that was originally embossed, and they didn't emboss the cover or something.
It was
People were
the
outraged.
Eye in the Sky for Alan Parsons. And
Yeah.
when Alan Parsons first released that, there was the first 1,000 had the gold embossed cover, and then after that, none of them had it. I bought that album when it came out. It never was embossed.
So has there
Mine
been
was,
any?
but I gave it away.
Was it really?
Yeah, I didn't know
Wow.
that was a thing because I only liked the song "Eye in the Sky."
And
I love that song.
Psychobabble. That song Psychobabble is great.
Maybe I need to revisit it. But
Yeah, right. It's not their best. It's not their best album.
If they're going to be pressing all this stuff, does that mean we're going to get MoFis of Tiffany and Debbie Gibson and Expose?
Well, if they get the license, that's the issue.
Well, I mean, they do have. First of all, if they're smart, they will. And second of all, I think Michael Jackson's Thriller is kind of a foray into that. They don't do that's straight ahead pop, and I haven't heard them do full on 80s pop like that before. So why not start with the most popular one of all and see how that goes, and then work your way back.
Right now,
the
they're so far
Go-Go's.
behind.
Do you really need a MoFi version of Thriller?
Yeah, really.
It's a good sounding record already.
There's a need and there's the difference between need and will sell.
Right.
Record labels are interested in what will sell, not what people.
Do you think they will sell 40,000? Do you think they'll sell 40,000 of those?
And what is the price for it? What are they selling?
Probably 125.
And you no.
And I don't think they were going to before, and now they definitely won't.
We're going to see those in record stores for years.
Yeah.
At 125. Yeah.
What has this
Garth
impacted
Brooks
Analog Productions at all?
Of the used bin.
I hope not, because Chad is upfront with everything.
Because they bought MoFi. Analog Productions owns MoFi now.
No, Music Direct. Music Direct.
Music Direct. Oh, okay.
Yeah,
I'm mistaken.
Yeah.
I thought it was
Analog Productions have videos and shows their whole
Yeah.
process and behind the scenes and all that.
He's great. Actually, Music Direct is actually right down the street from me. They're warehouse and offices.
I'm just
Yeah, I
wondering
know.
if this is
Whenever I
gonna-
ordered from them, it took a day and I got it.
Yeah, I used to go over there and pick up my records, and then I kind of got the vibe that they didn't like me doing that. So I'm like, okay, you can just ship it.
I'm just wondering if this will sour anybody on vinyl, because like I said, digital's okay now. So digital's all right again.
Right.
So then why are we
Ish.
even dealing with vinyl? I mean, why don't we?
It's
like
still-
like the streaming service Tidal. They have an upgrade where you can supposedly stream from the master tapes of certain albums, and I've heard
Really?
it. Tidal, yeah, and they sound magnificent. I mean, they sound great, and I don't know how true any of that is, but you have to have the upgrade, and then you can click on master version and click off, and you can hear the difference and all that. But
I don't
how much
CD.
longer before people are like, I want the best sound quality. Why am I putting digital onto a vinyl? Why am I not just listening to digital stream to me or on some sort of a file drive or something like that?
Well, you see, there's the difference because with the CD you have one level of quality, but digital also means MP3s. All right, and you're not going to get that.
No, I'm not talking about MP3s and CDs. I'm talking about the digital file, the DSD file that they're using to make the records with. That is being streamed by Tidal as a master recording.
Well, I think
why
there
not
was
issue those files, which I'm sure are no bigger than
I think
an
Neil Young
optical
was
disc.
aware of that. He with Sleeps with Angels. He had, that was digitally recorded, and then there was an album on vinyl produced, and then there was also the CD. And the vinyl release of Sleeps with Angels is a very highly sought after item.
But again, that's a CD.
Very
I don't mean CDs. I don't
No,
mean CD.
the vinyl.
It's in vinyl, but it was a digital master.
Right. Okay. Yeah, a lot of things.
And that
were
thing
at that
goes
time.
for over $200.
Right.
It's very
I wish
difficult
to
to
hell it would come. I've seen a couple that were like for $130 or some odd dollars, but they're over in Europe, and then you add $30-$40 shipping,
And he's reissuing that, I believe.
Oh,
Next
good.
year.
That would be sweet.
I believe he's. Yeah, I thought I heard that somewhere.
Because that is such a great recording.
It really is. So
there
I don't
are
know.
good quality digital recordings, out there, but I still hear the difference
Glaring.
between the vinyl oral experience versus the digital, the CD. Oral
Yeah, I don't mean
experience.
CDs, and I think that's the problem is people confuse CD files with digital.
Right.
I'm saying when are we going to get to a point where people are like, I just want that DSD file. I don't want the DSD file put on. Put that DSD file on some sort of a drive or some sort of a thing I can download or stream it or something like that.
Right.
That's
If you
going
can
to
get a
sound
FLAC
better than
file.
that same file put on an album. I mean, that's just
Right, you can like from Bandcamp, you can get FLAC files instead of buying MP3s.
some sort of
But I don't
lossless
have the
digital.
equipment to play a FLAC file.
Well, it's a matter of having that equipment become, mainstream and whatever. But
Yeah.
I mean, the whole point of that before of not doing that was digital sucks. We hate digital. We don't want to listen to anything
Right.
digital.
Right.
But that was
Suddenly
based on
now
the
digital's
CDs.
okay. So
That was all based on the CD, the packaging, and how.
no.
compressed
I'm talking
everything
about
was.
these audio files saying, they don't want any kind of digital source. They don't want any kind of whatever in their audio
Well, even
chain.
Patrick said that if
that
you
kind of
wanted to
thing.
get Maggot Brain, the best one was the CD release because all the vinyl pressings, in his opinion, were lacking. The original CD release was the best sounding.
This was the first. Remember the CDs from these guys? I never liked the sound of this. Really, I thought it was very heavy bass, and this was my wall for the longest time until I got the remaster on the just regular Columbia.
I'm not a
It was
fan of the
like-
wall anyway, so.
But that was I didn't care for that. But
Bloated.
I just
It's
if
good
you
with
go back
wine.
in time, you guys remember like 1985 when
No.
all the audio files then.
Remember that.
It was
I
the
remember.
opposite with the audio files. Everything had to be completely digital. Digital was the best. Everybody's buying this,
Right.
and they're so proud that it's a full digital recording. They're going to put that on there twice, just in case you didn't catch it the first time. That is a full. Where's it at? Oh, it's on here. A full digital recording, twice on there.
Yeah, right.
And people would get this, and they'd be like, I want you to come check out my
Oh.
stereo, man. I got digital, I got a CD player, and I got Dire Straits, Brother in Arm. That's a full digital recording.
Yeah.
And people would have their digital headphones, their digital speaker wire,
And then you never saw
oxygen-free
the
digital
A&D
speaker.
anymore. You never
And
saw
this is what the
AED.
audio. If you were an audiophile, that's what you had. And Madonna came out with "Like a Virgin," and I had the cassette, and even the cassette was like, "This is a fully digital recording from start to finish." Like,
It was?
yes,
Like
most of hers were. Look at "Like a Prayer." They're
you
so
pouring
proud of
wine,
the
Craig?
fact that it's a full digital recording. It's literally
Are you
written
pouring
on her
wine?
cooch.
Yeah. It's my hooch.
You know it's awfully proud when it's written on your kitten,
Oh,
to quote Naughty by Nature.
Vinyl?
A full digital recording.
Oh, I think
That's
I'm
why I
sitting-
don't have the vinyl for this, because this
I
is
think
a full
I think
digital
I'm sitting
recording.
in
Well,
front
I
of-
would assume most of her stuff is. Right. I mean,
She was one of the first.
I'm
Yeah, she
sitting
was.
in
I
front
thought
of-
the
Yeah,
first
I
album's
mean-
not. I think everything after that is. But yeah.
Yeah,
I just remember this one though.
gonna-
This was the one that everybody had. It was
Oh,
the greatest sound. Oh my god, this will blow you away. It's like,
and it was a huge album. I mean, it was
Yeah.
probably at number one for ages, and absolutely, and it does sound great.
but that's well. I
It's a
don't know about that,
garbage
but I mean,
album. It's their worst album, but whatever. That's my opinion.
wow. Dire
It's
Straits has a
terrible-
worst album. That's like
That and
the
that's-
bottom of the bottom.
No, their debut is great, and
Oh,
I love
mm.
Love Over Gold is solid, but that one, I didn't like
The
it when it
Man's
came
Too
out.
Strong is the one song on that record that I just really, 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 really like.
The Man's Too Strong. I mean,
Yeah.
I remember back when they would have the CD would have like bonus tracks that the record wouldn't have. I mean, at the time of release, not
Okay.
later on.
Right.
They would have like longer
everyone, yeah.
versions.
Yeah,
You know,
I got
and
that
this was
video
the way
of
to
them
go.
doing
This is
the Walk of Life. They were wearing those pastel-colored leisure suits, and then had their hair tied up like they were on, Maniac.
that's because
You know,
Dire
I'm
Straits
like,
is
don't-
awful.
don't do that,
It was
Richard.
just- it was
We should
worse than the Rolling
show
Stones
some more,
cover of-
right.
What was that one? The terrible one.
Harlem
they did?
Shuffle?
Dirty work. The album with Harlem
Yeah,
Shuffle.
yeah, Harlem Shuffle.
Yeah.
Horrible cover. Horrible album.
We should show some more. Don't you have like 100 MoFis? What are some others?
They're right there.
Oh,
I mean,
okay.
Is there
I
one
can
that
get
you
up,
ever
but
got that
why?
you were disappointed with? Because there is one that I
Yes.
got that I'm disappointed with.
there's one. Yes.
I wonder if it's the same one that I got.
No,
I only
probably
have
not.
3. I'm disappointed with all 3. That's why I never got any more. Really. I have the
The
Steely
Bob
Dan,
Dylan
which isn't my
ones are
favorite
absolute-
anyway, so
they're
I don't
just
really know how that
absolutely
goes. but-
amazing. It's like Bob Dylan is in your living room.
Okay.
You know,
I have the
it's
Beatles Abbey Road, but I'm
I'm
not
not sure I want
happy
Bob
with
Dylan
that.
in my living room.
The blonde on
I-
blonde. Absolutely one of the best MoFis of all time.
I'll get hate
It is
for that.
unbelievable.
Would you want a blonde on blonde in your living room? That's
Well, maybe.
I mean,
Yeah.
but
maybe there's one there right now.
not if one of the blondes was Bob Dylan. I don't get the appeal with Bob Dylan. I'm probably
Oh wow!
people are gonna hate me so much, but
Thank you.
I would like to tell you, like, I think he's an amazing songwriter. I love his
Absolutely.
songs when somebody else sings them.
Yep.
And I get bring on the hate. But I never got Bob Dylan.
I didn't get Bob Dylan for years and years and years. It's probably in the last like 15, 20 years
Really,
that I've
I
actually
don't know
started
that
to.
I'll. I don't
yeah.
know that I'll ever get there.
I
Oh, man.
don't
Bob
care
Dylan
for
connected
Troubadour
me
Bob Dylan at
right
all.
away.
Yeah.
So this was a MoFi that I think absolutely sucks.
What is that?
It is Santana 3.
That's
Yeah,
It is
I
it's
don't
a
have that
silver
on
label,
MoFi,
so-
but that's a
It is
silver
a
label
silver
too.
label, so it is digital, but horrible, absolutely horrible. Luckily, I didn't pay very much for it, but that's probably why, because it sucks. Just the sound. It's a great album. It's a wonderful record, but the sound is terrible.
It's a garbage.
Now, the one that I
So
have
which would you rather hear, audiophiles? Would you rather hear that one, which has a digital element, or this one with all the ringware that's at least
like
all
the ringware.
analog?
It probably
That's the
it
one
probably
I
sounds
have.
better.
Yeah, I have the
No,
the
look at
old
this thing.
like
This
the
is-
first
This is beat up.
early pressing
Oh, it's
of
actually
that.
not beat up. This is beat up. But yeah.
Yeah,
No, Bob
The one
Dylan,
I-
man. I
that I'm
mean, he's a
disappointed with-
vocalist. He's not a
the
singer.
one I have a problem with is the Ray Charles MoFi. That
The-
one,
The Genius one,
yeah, the genius of
Yeah.
Ray Charles.
also not very good.
It is not very good.
And
No.
I don't know if is that a silver label. I don't think it is.
No, it's a master recording.
Yeah,
But
I have that too, and I was very disappointed with that. But
the
that was,
master tape must have been
yeah.
oxidized or something.
I mean, that wasn't an expensive. I mean, it was expensive, but it was. I think it was like a $37 one. Release,
Yeah, it was just under 40
it wasn't
bucks.
like a $70. But yeah, another one. Yeah, I forgot about that. I never play that, and I was really disappointed. What a wonderful record that is too.
But the one that I'm really glad that I got was the Carole King Tapestry, because the original Tapestry always sounded like tinny and wound up tight. The regular release of it. The MoFi release of it still has a little bit of that like tension around it, that it's not quite fully expanded, but it does sound so much better than the original release. So I do like having that one.
Yeah, I bought that and I was playing it when I got home, and my partner, he comes in the room and he goes, "What the fuck are you listening to?" And I said, "Carole King's Tapestry. It's one of the biggest selling albums of all time."
Right.
And he's quite a bit younger than me, and he knows all those songs, but not sung by her.
Yeah.
Just different people. And he just looks at me and goes, "This sucks." And he walks out of the room.
Wow.
Well, there you go.
I
There's
have
some
no
harsh
idea who
criticism.
Carole King is.
Yeah, I do. I don't own any Carole King, but I know her. I know that she did those songs originally. Hers are probably better. Although Martika's I Feel the Earth Move was pretty awesome. I love me Martika. She was in Kids
Isn't
Incorporated.
she like, should we heart to heart we all fall down like toys?
Yeah,
is that
like
Toy Soldier, yeah.
She's around here somewhere.
Did she have another career? Like she went on to have a full career after that, or?
I have a Martika story. We went to see Pat Benatar like maybe 5 years ago, and Martika opened for Pat Benatar, but under a different name. She had a band that she was in. And
I don't remember what their name was.
I have no idea. They weren't very good. But their final song was a Toy Soldier. Yeah. And we were all kind of like, wait, is that Martika? We had no idea who it was until the encore.
Well, she only had 2 albums, and her second one was actually produced by Prince.
Right.
This says opera with 2 P's. It was the band name.
Yeah. And she did like some dance single in like 2010 or something like that. It's terrible, but I'm like, it's fucking Martika. Come on. And she was on Kids Incorporated.
Wait a minute. Okay, that's why. I see now.
Yes.
I was about to ask, what did she do by Kids Incorporated?
I don't know Martika.
You don't need to, Richard.
Our album we'll be listening to next is
Martika self-titled. You're welcome. Oh, we should.
Is she someone like Klaus Nomi?
What's a Klaus Nomi?
No.
Okay.
I don't know what that is.
She's somebody like Tiffany, or
No.
Oh, talk about a pioneering gay singer from the 70s and early 80s. That if you ever saw the video of David Bowie doing The Man Who Fell to Earth, and it was at Saturday Night Live.
Saturday Night Live.
And then he also did TVC15, and Klaus Nomi was also on stage with him, and in fact stole that costume, and that became his persona for his recording.
Richard's record review is going to be Klaus Nomi.
I have one Klaus Nomi record that I listen to maybe once or twice a year.
He has like the one, right? Hold on, let me see.
No, there's 2. He has 2.
Oh, really?
Yeah, there's a second one. But yeah, he was got his start in the East Village, and there's a video someplace on YouTube that is allegedly his debut performance in this club, and it is just astounding. He just really,
That would be Klaus Nomi.
Look at the Guncles getting technical. This is good.
So he was an operatic singer. He had a voice for opera.
Yeah, I did. Yeah.
And it's just amazing, So, yeah.
He's in the UGG, A Music War. Where they show all those great bands from like 80 and 81, that movie where they're all like on for 2.5 minutes. He's one of them.
Oh, I've never seen that.
Oh, it's great. It has the Police and Susie and the Banshees and, I mean, everybody.
There for Susie.
From that era, from like 81.
Huh.
But yeah.
Yeah.
I will look up this Klaus Nomi. Remember, I grew up in a teeny tiny town in Arizona. I'm white trash. So. And I accept that.
You should.
Yeah.
You didn't grow up in Sunflower, Arizona.
No, but that wasn't too far.
I remember stopping in Sunflower, Arizona to get some gas, and I thought I was in the Twilight Zone.
Oh,
Yeah, I think I've been through there too years ago.
There was this kid sitting on a tractor in the hot sun at this gas station, and he was just sitting there. It kind of reminded me of what's the story of
check this out.
The people who I saw this before. Someone else had showed that recently. Maybe it was you, Robert.
Probably, yeah.
I gotta check this out.
I only have a
I've
few
never- I've
cool
never heard
things,
of
so I keep showing the same things over and over again.
I mean, my hometown's claim to fame is Fire in the Sky. Have you guys ever seen that movie?
Yes.
With Henry Thomas, yes, I have.
Yeah.
Okay, that happened
movie.
like right by my
Unfortunately, we
hometown.
get a PG-13 Henry Thomas.
Yeah,
So.
I know Travis Walton. Like his wife, my brother was married to her. Well, not why they were married, but
Who is Travis Walton, the guy that got sent up in the
Travis Walton
spaceship?
was the one that went up to the aliens and stuff. Yeah,
Wow.
Terrific movie.
so, yeah, that's what happens in where I grew up. The aliens come and suck you up. And,
Wow.
Wow.
and then they make a romantic love story. And she was married to my brother when that happened. So you're welcome.
Wow.
That's a whole episode.
That's what we have.
The things we find out.
We have
Last time I
aliens.
found out that the girl who stole Rose's teddy bear on the Golden Girls has a singing career, and now I find out that the romance in Fire in the Sky wasn't even real.
I mean, it was real. It just was, it was an affair. It was adultery. Although they were kind of split up at that time, so I mean, but they were still married. So you choose to do what you want with that.
Well,
Again,
not to milk
you're
the MoFi thing too much, but on moving tangentially, the other thing about this album, of course, is the MTV song, "Money for Nothing." That I remember when that came out, and I was in the closet at that time, but nonetheless, I was like,
I was too.
did they really just say that? And this was like a huge video. It was like,
And you feel the need to have the MoFi of it. When they say is there less sibilance in the MoFi? Is it clearer in the MoFi?
Yeah.
Does it jump out of the speakers at you?
Better.
oh yeah.
Because it is
But
like three
no,
times in a
it's
row,
more
just
acceptable.
jumping right out.
The songs "Why Worry," "Right Across the River," "The Man's Too Strong," those are really good songs. But yeah, the "Walk of Life" and "Your Latest Trick" is a pretty good song.
Oh yeah, that was a good song. I like that.
Yeah, but anyway, when that video, and then that video became so popular, it was like played over and over and over again. I was like, okay, I'm like going back into the closet even deeper.
Yeah.
Because of
It was
the way
weird that it was Dire.
people
The problem I
reacted
have
to
is it's Dire Straits. I mean, if the Sex Pistols want to say that, or if Fear wants to, or some punk rock group wants to say that,
it's
or
gratuitous.
Guns N' Roses. If that's different, they're like equal opportunity offenders almost. It's like they're going to say something about everybody.
Right.
But Dire Straits is supposed to be this elitist kind of,
and it was so gratuitous. It really
very gratuitous.
it added nothing to the song.
Very calculated. They knew that this was going to be the kickoff single. They knew this was going to be all over the radio.
Right.
It's very cynically cocked. And done in the height of the AIDS epidemic, when gay people are watching their friends dying, knowing they're going to probably be next. And this is like the slap in the face they need from Dire Straits. Like, what the fuck do we do to Dire Straits? Oh,
The
that fucking
contrary, to this one, you've got
Wow, here we
Bobby
go.
Brown. Okay, so Bobby Brown, I remember the first time I heard that song, and I kind of cringed a bit, listening to that song, and they
I
played.
don't
it
know
in dance
that.
clubs.
You referenced that before, but I again, Bobby Brown to me is the guy that sings my
Don't be
prerogative.
cruel. Truth about Aroni, she's a sweet old girl.
Well, here I'll read you the lyrics.
Well,
Hey
I
there,
guess
people.
we're gonna too hot to handle, too hot to cold. Let the
Hey there,
Ghostbusters in
people. I'm
control.
Bobby Brown. They say I'm the cutest boy in town. My car is fast. My teeth is shiny. I tell all the girls they can kiss my hiney. Basically, the song is not really about gay people, which is initially how it sounds. Because
like Bobby Fitton and Bobby Brown.
But this guy is so totally into himself. He is so self-obsessed that he is such an asshole, and that's kind of what what was going on. The bad part is Frank had no respect really for women, and he used this song to trash women's liberation. That the whole movement of empowerment for women. That was the reason he wrote the song, not to take a shot at gay people. He wrote the song to take a shot at women.
Oh, well, then that's okay. Then. Let's buy that album.
Well, it doesn't make the song any better. It doesn't make it any more palatable. But I think a lot of people miss that because they focus on, Bobby Brown, I can take about an hour on the Tower of Power as long as I get a little golden shower. That they focus on that stuff.
Dancing
and they
to a
miss
golden shower.
what else was going on.
What?
That's where you.
Sorry, Richard. Go ahead.
That's where you stand out in the rain under a rusty thing, and it kind of the rain turns to gold because of the rust.
I was a little confused.
On a rusted pipe or something.
Or what you pay Moscow prostitutes to do.
There's that.
So what are we paying them to do?
Do any of you listen to the Pogues?
We'll talk about this backstage.
Thank you.
I'll keep it running so we can keep it for the archive for the Blu-ray release later on.
Yeah, I have a Pogues thing over there somewhere.
So, what's your take on Fairy Tale of New York?
Okay, y'all are gonna have to maybe I just don't listen to lyrics, which I normally do. But you guys have been mentioning that.
I've never heard it.
You've never heard?
Oh, that was like one of their biggest songs. For a while, it was.
I've heard that.
It was the most popular Christmas song in the last part of the 20th century. It really was. It was.
I hate Christmas.
What? Oh, I love Christmas. There's nothing gayer than Christmas.
Halloween.
True.
I love Halloween.
Christmas is so much gayer than Halloween. But anyway, there's a line, and
it depends on the costume.
Yeah.
And the elf.
He uses the F word, and he also uses the S word referring to women. The song is about these two people arguing, a man and a woman, and he calls her a slut, and she calls him a faggot, and it just goes through the song, and that's a song that also kind of
this is a Christmas
song. Fairy Tale of New York.
Yeah, I don't know why they consider that a Christmas song. Because I never
sound like one.
Because it's happens at Christmas time. They're having this argument in New York City, and it's Christmas time. It's but that's another song that kind of makes me cringe when I hear it.
Because you say the word Christmas in a song does not make it a Christmas song.
I know where we're going with this.
Hard Candy Christmas is not a Christmas song.
Wow, I could see that train coming from a mile away. No, it's not.
There was a river, but coming up Christmas. It's not
right.
a Christmas song.
No, and in fact, didn't it become a hit in the summertime originally?
I believe so.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Sorry, Richard.
Hard Candy Christmas from
I'm
Dolly
the
Parton.
Not a Christmas, and continue. I appreciate you.
But the Pogues are more like, an alternative. Again, they're not Dire Straits that are going to be on the radio and going to be,
You would almost expect that from Shane,
pushed
right?
on to like 12-year-olds, top 40 every 15 minutes on MTV. The Pogues are the Pogues. The Sex Pistols are the Sex Pistols,
Right. Yeah. It's just the words actually fit in with the story and the characters that they are singing about. So even though it's like a little cringy, but then going back to Money for Nothing, it's just, first of all, the entire song.
Plus, I just don't like Dire Straits.
Nothing. It's just nothing. It's about nothing. I can't believe Sting, actually agreed to do that.
Back there, yeah.
They still use that for their, if you see like MTV Productions or something, that still exists, and they still do some things, and that will pop up, and you will hear that, I want my MTV,
Right. Well, they knew,
music.
Dire Straits knew that they were going to get a lot of cashola out of that.
They did.
Performed that at Live Aid.
Yep.
Yikes.
So did they sing faggot in the Live Aid version?
Thrice.
Oh.
Yeah, it says that word 3 times in a row. Yeah. Just in case you didn't catch it. You really like on the MoFi is what you want to get, so it's very, very clear.
So it's really clear.
You want to feel it.
Yes.
No background hiss.
Well, I wouldn't mind feeling certain faggot, but I mean,
God damn.
But I mean,
are there any other songs?
I just don't want to hear Dire Straits. There's all kinds of songs if you want to talk F-word songs. There's Charlie Daniels Band, Uneasy Rider. There's where he's telling a story and he's purposely trying to get people to be upset. So that's why he's saying it. There's the 10 Years After song, I'd Love to Change the World, that says everywhere there's dykes and fairies, freaks and harries, but they themselves at that time would probably call themselves freaks and harries, so they're putting themselves right in with that.
I saw that as being self-deprecating.
Yeah, I did too. I always did too. What a wonderful record.
Willie Nelson got Ain't Going Down on Brokeback Mountain.
Who sang this?
Willie Nelson.
No, I heard he had a really positive song called "Cowboys Are Frequently Frequently Fond of Each Other."
Yeah, no, he has "I Ain't Going Down on Brokeback Mountain," and they said, "Oh, Willie, that sounds a mite queer." Yeah, and he says you can don't go reaching for his rope or something like that. It's a great song.
Sounds anti-gay.
No, it's not really.
Is that after the movie?
He's like, you be you. You go down on Brokeback Mountain, but I'm not gonna.
Oh, see, the one I heard was cowboys are secretly fond of each other, and it goes on about how all cowboys are secretly gay, and that's what the whole, traveling off into the West was about, and that's what all the leather was really all about. And it is. Craig, Willie Nelson, that's what cowboys are frequently, secretly fond of each other is what it's called. And it came out, it wasn't in Brokeback Mountain, but it came out at the same time.
But that song was actually written, way, way, way back, and it was somebody...
I never heard.
It's like one of those pinball guys that used to have in the pinball machine in the one studio that they all used to like Joe Shaver, like Billy Joe Shaver, those people. It's one of those guys.
You know, a song that I love to change the pronouns to because it works perfect, and that's the Beatles from Rubber Soul, "Girl." That girl. If you change that to "a boy," that song is perfect, and then you just.
But what about the part where they go tit 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 tit? Do you change it to dick 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 dick?
I mean, yeah.
Yes. Absolutely.
Did you even have to ask?
You know that's the thing with that. That's the secret of that song is that they're in the background. There's a song called about a girl, and they're going tit 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 tit.
Wow.
It's true. I never liked that song.
I learned something new today.
Oh, I love that song, and I do love changing the pronouns.
That's my favorite.
You do that when you're singing along. I used to do that. I don't really do it anymore, but I used to do that with certain songs. You change around.
He's the kind of boy who puts you down when friends are there. You feel a fool.
Well, I don't want a boy like that. That sounds like I'll sing that as a girl. You know, she's the kind of girl that'll put you down when friends are there. I know girls like that.
That bitch. I hate her. She's a hoe.
She's the kind of girl that'll put you down when friends are there. So I just went ahead, walked away, and started talking to somebody else.
Very good.
I like it.
All right.
Speaking of songs, we have another album review, and this time it was Mike's turn to come up with the album.
Yes.
And we all listened to it.
Yes. You want me to
I
go?
read someplace that it was,
Right
I read
ahead.
someplace it was described as synth pop that goes off the edge.
It got a Grammy, all kinds of stuff.
She won a Grammy for this record.
Really? Oh, I didn't know.
Yeah. What did you say last week, Craig? She was the first
First one since 91.
Since 91, yeah.
Yeah, Sinead O'Connor.
Well, that's right.
There's only been the
that
two, right? Just her and Sinead? Yeah.
Yeah, I think so, yeah.
And I wasn't trying to cut Craig off. It was just I was the one that answered it.
He is.
Oh, dude.
Yeah, and I actually said that. I don't know if you heard me. I'm like, no, Robert.
Yes.
I listened to this. I love St. Vincent. But I've been really into her last two records the last couple of years, and but this is when this came out, I played it nonstop. I absolutely love it. Obviously, it's St. Vincent's self-titled, apparently, but great artwork, absolutely wonderful. I love that she has a different character for every record. This is the digital waitress character. I just love her sound. She's a terrific guitarist. She also plays guitar, and it's a wonderful record. I had some notes, but I left them. But digital waitress, Birth in Reverse, just terrific songs. She is also she identifies as bisexual. I had to look that up after our last video. So I think it's absolutely wonderful. I love the sound that she gets out of her guitar. And then her next album is completely different. And like her new album, Daddy's Home, has more of a late 70s vibe, more of that Philadelphia sound to it. But yet it still harkens back to this sound. I think she's one of the best artists going. I absolutely adore her. And this is probably my third favorite. But I wanted you guys to hear it, and that's why I suggested it.
What does the thing on the letters on the front mean? I've tried to figure that. It's like a 0, a cross, and a V. Like I don't know if that's.
I don't know.
A V or a 5 or.
Yeah, no, it's very strange. Yeah. Great photo of her. Look how she's fabulous. And like I said, she does identify as bisexual. She was in a relationship with Kristen Stewart, the actress, for many, many years. I don't believe they're together anymore. I'm pretty sure they've split up. Do you guys have time for a story?
I love stories.
Sure.
I went to see her on her tour like two albums ago, and this is why old men need to wear readers and don't order tickets on your phone. She's coming to the Chicago Theater here, and I had to go see her, and I didn't have my readers on, and I'm ordering tickets, boom, 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 and I get home that night and I look at my bank account and they took like $450 out. I'm like, what is going on? They definitely overcharged me for, and I go and look. I ordered like the deluxe package of whatever, and I ended up with, for me and my partner, he loves her, we got like 10th row tickets. We got to go in early for a meet and greet. We got to take photos with her and like all this crap that by the time the show came and my credit card was paid off, I was okay with it. But so we ended up going for like the meet and greet and everything. She was so cool. She told some wonderful stories about her and Kristen. They were together at the time, and it was really, really cool, down to earth, very, just great. And then we had unbelievable seats for the show. It was a wonderful evening.
That's a great venue to see a concert.
It is, but you have to be up close. I find the balcony seats to be awful. But the main floor, like close in the main floor, unbelievable. The sound down there is really, really nice. I've seen a lot of shows there. So,
Cool.
And now your reviews. Do you want me to give it a rainbow now?
Oh yeah, we're doing rainbow ratings instead of stars. That was Craig's idea.
That's a great idea.
great
I like it. We
idea.
should have
Thank
thought of it
you.
from the beginning. But it's never
Don't
too
be a
late.
hater, Robert.
No.
I just said it was your idea.
Well, I give it, because it's not my favorite St. Vincent record, I give it 4 rainbows.
Okay.
Who's
I'll
next?
also probably never give any record 5 rainbows. It's got to be a masterpiece.
Yeah, I'm like that too, or
Yeah.
1. 1 or 5 I would be pretty rare on. It's got to
Yeah,
be
yeah.
so bad it's offensive,
Yeah.
bad. It's like you've wasted my time kind of bad to get 1 star, and 5 stars it better be like,
Craig's
Lover
tearing up
Boy
the
or
one-
something.
1 rainbow for your suggestion.
Loverboy. 5
Oh,
rainbows for
all
Loverboy?
Boys, 5 rainbows.
I meant the Billy Ocean song.
That had to have been a bright
Oh,
sun in a
that's like
torrential
10.
rain.
It's like 10 fucking rainbows.
Right.
Billy Ocean, Loverboy, get the fuck out. Okay. Love me some Billy Ocean, but we are not talking about Billy Ocean. Who is next? Is it
You
me?
are.
You are. Look at you.
All right.
We're going
So-
around the other way now.
I listened to this quite a bit, actually. So I am familiar with St. Vincent. I have never listened to one of her entire records. I listened to that one song off of Mass Education, which Jenny does the backing vocals on. Thank you very fucking much. Sorry. Shut it. Okay, so... And I love her little EP she did with a couple covers where she covered like Metallica and that other person. And I have that, and I love the song she does with Angel Olsen. So we're gonna go into this. I felt a lot of different artists, and I felt a lot of like vibes from other people. So with like the opening track, I even felt like there was some delight in there, like some sprinkling of like DJ Joe T, and like I felt a little bit of Lady Mascara in there. Birth in Reverse, which I love to take out the garbage and masturbate, by the way. Just want to let you know, like that's like the best line I've heard like in the last couple
Do you
of
get
days.
a morning feeling when you hear that line, or an evening
What time of the day
feeling?
do you take out the garbage?
Right, when you take the garbage out, because I heard that and I'm like,
Garbage.
is she talking about like first thing in the morning or like last thing at night?
I mean, it also
both.
could be in the afternoon.
Right.
I
Well,
mean, don't be biased against taking the garbage out and masturbating.
No, I'm asking.
It could be any time. It could be 2:00 in the morning.
right. That would make more.
I mean, it really is what you would like to do. So
Whenever the
you want
garbage
take
needs to go out, you take it out.
take it out now,
Or the laundry.
or the lawn. Do whatever you want.
Why wouldn't you masturbate first and then take the garbage out? That way you could throw out.
It's true, but maybe you're taking the garbage out and masturbating at the same time. I mean, I mean, not me
Maybe
personally.
something in the street inspires you to masturbate.
Maybe
that
by
you
the
see
dumpsters.
when you've taken.
Excuse
the
me, I gotta
garbage
go
out.
take out the garbage.
All right. And the Huey Newton, is that like Juice and Huey's baby? Like Juice
I don't know, but I
Newton
love
and
that
Huey
song.
Lewis is. I mean, it was good.
That's a
but all
wonderful
I could
song.
think of is like Huey Lewis and Juice
I don't know.
Newton had a baby. So yeah, Digital Witness. I liked the Prefer Your Love to Jesus. I got a huge Sinead vibe from that. I felt like almost like Sinead was singing to me. I really like the song Regret. Okay, too much fucking wine. Regret. I really liked that song a lot. Psychopath, Bring Me to Your Loves. Now, are we talking about the bonuses? Because there are digital bonuses that aren't on the vinyl.
Like the Dark Side remix.
Whatever you
that
want.
was
One of the
terrible.
singles was on those bonus tracks. A single
Or
was on
Del
there.
Rio.
Yeah, that was the only one that was good. That Bad Believer, it's a terrible song, and it's the reason.
I didn't listen to any of those. Yeah.
Yeah. Oh my god, it was terrible.
Huh.
But that's the only thing. But that's not the album, so that doesn't count.
Right.
Right.
The Severed Cross Fingers, I really, really liked that one.
Mhm.
And then Psychopath. But yeah, I really enjoyed
And
it.
there's so many influences there. I mean, I hear Kate Bush in a lot of songs, and then I hear Garbage. You know, a band like that.
Oh.
You know, there's so many different influences there.
And in the birth, I wrote this down too. I forgot to. In the Birth in Reverse, I was even feeling a little Pat Benatar in that.
Mm-hmm.
So
I think that was
I was just feeling a lot of Bjork. I was feeling Bjork or Bjork, whichever you'd like.
I think
to say.
that was the first single was Birth in Reverse.
Yeah, I really, really, really enjoyed it, and I will probably seek it out. So,
Good.
Yeah. Oh, do you want my rainbow rating?
Absolutely.
I'm gonna go with 4.
Yeah, this is on a lot of number one, like number one album of the year. Let's see who did that. Slant, Enemy says it's the number one album of 2000. These are all number one album 2014. Guardian, Gigwise, Entertainment Weekly all said it was a number one album. And then a bunch of others like Pop Matters and Rolling Stone and Mojo and all that have it in their top 5 of the year.
This is the album that really kind of launched her career. She had about 3 or 4 records before this. Her album, Actor, is one of my favorites. Terrific record, but this is the one that really kind of launched her into the mainstream. And obviously the Grammy win probably helps too. And everything she's done since is huge.
I was listening to it. I definitely heard what you're talking about with the Sinead O'Connor. It was Nothing Compares to You, and it was that drum loop. It was that slow. It's the same exact one, and then the chord, the kind of the synth thing over the top is the same. I heard ABBA's Chiquitita in something, and I don't remember which song it was, but it's that that part was in something on the album. But overall, I liked her. I thought her vocals were okay. I would have liked, again, I always wish it was real drumming, but it was funky. It was, it had a lot of different kind of things going on, but like you said, a lot of different influences. I heard the Kate Bush influence too and all that. So I mean, Severed Fingers, and I'm going to snort the Berlin Wall and all of that. Yeah, we came home and we snorted the piece of the Berlin Wall that you extorted. It was a line. So we're snorting concrete, which leads me to this is like 2013, and I know I saw Lady Gaga around that time, and I saw Madonna around that time, and she's got like severed, crossed fingers and all this. When did this straightforward pop music become so gory and bloody and violent? And I remember seeing Madonna in concert, and there was this, I think this was the MDMA tour, and this was the first time she'd been to St. Louis in like a long, long time. So there's people who've not even seen her since like the 80s. And she comes out, she's doing all these new songs. She's on a bed with a priest, because he's got the collar on, he's got the whole suit on. And this is on stage, and then in the back is this huge backdrop of this video, so it makes it look like they're in a seedy motel. All of a sudden, and she's just dry humping this priest on this bed. All of a sudden, she pulls out a pistol, puts it up to his head, blows his brains out. The blood splatter goes all over the back of the, so it's huge in this, theater or whatever. Brains and blood splattering all over the walls. I'm like, can I hear Lucky Star or Dress You Up? I mean,
what song was she?
I don't know. This was like the Girl Gone Wild era, so I think that was MDMA.
It was MDMA, like her worst album ever.
But I had never seen her. I had seen her in '90 on the Laserdisc concert, but
the girly.
I hadn't seen anything really since then, and I just like, what are you doing? And then Lady Gaga has a lot of the. It's like I thought I was at an Alice Cooper concert from the '70s. It's so weird to see pop music get so gory and everything. But I noticed that in this too. She's got like severed fingers, and she's snorting the concrete and things like that. But that was just one thing that kind of popped out that nobody else talked about. But I would give it 3 rainbows.
Okay. Yeah, when I
wow.
I was really excited when I heard the opening track, Rattlesnake. I mean, when I give a record first listen, I'll what songs I really like, I'll give it like a check mark to, and then but if I put 2 check marks by it, I mean it's one that just that I really connected with. So I had high hopes, and I kind of felt like the rest, not all the songs, but the songs that came after that were underwhelming to me. I mean, really, Birth in Reverse, lyrically, she's got some really good lyrics going on, but musically, the song just seemed, I don't know, it didn't quite connect with me. Prince Johnny made me think of, it could be like the theme song for a James Bond movie.
Yeah, I like that song.
Yeah, and then Huey Newton was very interesting.
I like it.
Birth of the Black Panthers. But then, yeah, that whole side one, I prefer Your Love. I have a check mark by that. That was a good song. I really like that one. But Regret, I didn't really connect with. But the side, what I would call side two, was much better. I mean, Bring Me Your Love, Psychopath, Every Tear Disappears. All those songs were really, really strong and good. And then the video that I saw included the Dark Side remix at the end, which I really love. I mean, I really like that remix, of that. But I know that's not part of the original album.
I need to check this out.
So, but I just like house music and, dance and trance music. And that just was like, really, in my wheelhouse. So, lyrically, she's got some very interesting songs. I just didn't feel like the music supported or not support. I felt like the music just didn't match with what she was singing about. And that's just me. I give it 3.5 rainbows, mostly because of the strength of what I would call side two. Side one, other than Rattlesnake, what I would call side one, the other songs didn't quite thrill me like that. And maybe it was because it was the opening track, and it really set my expectations high because that's a great song.
It is.
And it was a great opener. But I don't know. It took me a while to kind of grasp what was going on with Birth in Reverse and that. So yeah, I mean, it's an album that I'm not. If I was at somebody's house and they started playing this, I'm not going to tell them turn that crap off. No, I'm not going to say that. I'll listen to it and enjoy it. It's not a record I would necessarily, want to go out and buy myself.
I'll buy it, Mike. Don't worry.
So that's 14.5 rainbows.
No, you're not.
14.5 rainbows. It's a rainbow under the last one.
A whole rainbow under the last one.
Half a rainbow.
Half a rainbow.
Jenny.
So that would be Richard's turn now to come up with an album. So which car seat headrest record will be listening to?
I had a hard time, deciding which one because there are two really good ones.
Yeah.
But they're different eras. And then I also thought maybe I'll skip Car Seat Headrest and pick something else. I thought about Troye Sivan for a while and Blue Neighborhood. As an option.
Isn't he the guy from Car Seat Headrest?
No. Troye Sivan is an Australian. Well, he's from South Africa, but he's an Australian pop singer. Blue-eyed soul kind of singer. Maybe I'll save Car Seat Headrest. And I'll go with the Blue Neighborhood Troye Sivan. Because that's... that's a good one. It was he had a series of videos to go with the song, and the basic premise of the album. It's a double album, and 3 sides are the concept, are the narrative, the story. The 4th side is just other songs, but it's about growing up in a small town and being in love, with another boy, but who has a homophobic father. So there's that tension of, fully committing or not fully committing and negotiating, struggling with that as, being in love with someone who can't love you back, kind of.
When did this come out? What year?
Early 2000s, I think.
That's fine.
If you give me a second, I'll pull it out.
No, you don't worry, Richard.
It was one of his early records, and
First, I believe.
It might have been his first. Yeah.
We're good.
So yeah, I'll go with that one, and I'll save car seat headrests for another time.
2015.
Okay.
Yeah.
Since I'm picking the next one, what are the rules? Did we
There
ever
are none,
establish?
are there?
Oh, okay.
There
I
are
don't think there are any. I mean,
no
originally we thought it would be like gay artists or influenced you in your life.
Right.
So I think that's what we originally talked about, but we can do whatever
Could
the
be
hell we
anything,
want.
okay.
We're gunkles.
It could be just
Right.
whatever
Guncles.
whatever tweaks your gunkle bone.
So what is that Blue October from John Harris or something?
Blue Neighborhood.
I'm sorry.
Oh God.
I need to remember to get my phone first. Blue Neighborhood.
I'm not familiar with this record. I'm looking forward to it. I have a long ride out to Iowa on Tuesday, so that'll be my listening session.
Oh wow, driving to Iowa. I've done that a couple of times.
I go out that way all the time for work. I'm out there probably every 3 weeks. But I love it. I'm a city boy, and I love getting out on the open roads and just driving and listening to music. And it's great. Yeah. And
Road tripping can be fun.
Beautiful out there this time of year. Everything is so green. It's gorgeous. The corn's like 8 feet high. It's really cool. I'm a city boy. Those things fascinate me.
Yeah,
also
Do that corn drive like every weekend.
I'm a
back
country
home.
boy.
Yeah, I grew
Corn
up.
is
I
the
grew
most
up. in the
boring
corn.
thing in the world.
Yeah.
We had sweet corn festivals. So I mean,
One of the first things I ever hosted was a sweet corn festival, and I have a whole video talking about Candlebox came, and it was when they were, really popular at that. They were kind of new, and they had that song "You," and if you know what that is, he yells out "fuck you" in the song, and somehow they got wind of it, and they're like, "No, we're not, we don't need that." And their manager was like, "We will have a no profanity clause. That's fine. The band won't do any profanity on stage." Oh, okay, great. That's fine then. So instead of one singer going, "Fuck you," he goes, the singer at the concert, Sweet Corn Festival. This is the Chatham Sweet Corn Festival. Same kind of sweet corn festival I'm sure Craig is imagining. Same thing. Candlebox though. And this was the first. I forgot to mention. This is the first time they're going to have a rock band. So this is like the test for if we can, we should have rock bands or not, because usually it's country bands and whatever. So here's
REO
Candlebox.
Speedwagon wasn't available?
No, they were too big for that. This REO Speedwagon's more like the State Fair. This is Springfield, Illinois area. This is Central Illinois.
They play Naperville Rib Fest a lot.
Well, we have a Rib Fest down here.
The Rib Fest.
But so, the band isn't going to say fuck you. So instead of one lead singer in a microphone saying "fuck you," he goes, "So yeah, we talked about blah blah blah, and they won't let us say all the words to this song, but that don't mean you can't do. However many thousands of people, fuck you, and so that's what they get instead. And man, wow, we were not invited back to do anything with the Chatham Sweet Corn Festival for quite a while. Can you imagine just walking around with your kids and all of a sudden you're hearing you hear like a concert playing like you usually do. It's like you can't really tell what's going on. It's over there somewhere. And all of a sudden you hear, 7,000 people scream out, "fuck you." I mean.
And the Buckinghams were on the bill next year.
Yeah, right. Yeah. No, it was the Buck Owens tribute.
Oh, I love the Buck Owens tribute.
Yeah,
it's my favorite. I was thinking maybe Crisscross or something like that.
State Fair. We had the State Fair show where it had to stop because the Wallflowers got bum rushed.
Oh.
Wow.
I mean, only concert I've ever had that had shut down because of potential violence. The Wallflowers.
Well,
I would
I have
love
a-
to see the
that's a
wall.
Dylan I can get with. Okay, Jacob Dylan, yeah, good voice.
Oh.
Yeah, I can get
Beautiful
with.
eyes.
Oh, give me some Jacob Dylan.
I love the
That's the
wallflowers.
Dylan you like, huh?
Yeah, that's the Dylan
Yeah,
I
not
like.
so much the Bob.
No,
I'm
not
with you.
the Bob. Not the Bob. Okay,
Craig,
so,
I have a
Jacob.
I have a crisscross story.
oh,
Do you
tell
guys
me
have
about
time for a
Crisscross.
story?
Wow, there's not many of those.
Do you guys remember crisscross?
Yeah, they make you jump.
Jump
Yeah.
I think that was the Daddy Mac and the Mac Daddy were in that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'll tell it some other time.
Tell it now. We've already talked about.
No, I'm
Yeah.
good.
No, tell it because I got it in my head. I got
You
my
can't
pants on backwards.
No.
Bring that. I was about ready to put
I've
my
had too
pants
many
on
beers
backwards.
and I gotta pee really soon, and we're way over budget here.
Oh, only by
On the next episode, hear the story of Crisscross. We'll wear our
Crisscross.
pants backwards just for that
We will
episode.
have- yes. You won't be able to. Maybe we'll wear our shirts backwards.
Yes. Thank you so much for joining episode 2. We definitely appreciate you tuning in. And if you would like the video, please consider giving it a thumbs up and subscribing. We're brand new, obviously, so need all of the help that we can get. Once again, we are the Vinyl Community Guncles. I'm Robert Fithen, along with...
I'm Gunkle Richard from Calvin Wazoo.
Uncle Mike.
And I'm going
Do
to
it.
Craig.
Yeah, you are.
Shut
Yeah,
up.
you can get links to our own individual channels in the descriptions on the channel description or whatever. So once again, thank you
Yes.
so much for joining, and we will talk to you again next time.
All right.
Cheers.
Peace, y'all.